Hello everyone, welcome to a lesson in life processes in living organisms, and in this unit we will learn about coordination in plants. Now, the systematic regulation of different processes in plants or animals can be called control. Systematically, things happening in the plant body or animal body. And now bringing about the different processes in a proper sequence is called coordination. If you see the bud blossoming into a flower, the process is controlled and very well coordinated. No outside stimulus is needed. From within, that bud blooms or blossoms into a flower. Coordination in plants is different than that in animals. Plants do not have a nervous system or a muscular system like how animals have. Okay, so movement in plants are not from one place to another, but they are mainly in the form of responses to stimuli from the environment, something that acts on the plant. Some stimuli means something which is external to the plant. Now, if you look at these pictures here, you will find in the first picture the pollen tube growing towards the ovule. It is growing by itself, going towards the ovule. In the second picture, you find a potted plant moving in the direction of the sun. And in the third picture, you'll find plants, who have tendrils, plants which have tendrils and they move, they climb. Those tendrils by themselves hold onto the grills or onto any wooden structure and the plant moves. So these are some types of movements in plants. The movement of a plant towards light is called phototropic movement or phototropism. Other movements of plants, that is the response of the roots growing downwards towards gravity and towards water, is called gravitropism and hydrotropism. There is also a movement showed by plants in response to certain chemicals. That is called chemotropism. The movement or growth of any part of a plant in response to something external, a stimulus from outside, is called tropic movement or tropism. Okay. Now, all these are related to growth. The root growing in the direction of gravity and water, the stem growing towards light, then the pollen grain growing towards the ovule, or in chemotropism, the the seed becoming into a fruit, the flower turning into fruit. Now these are all related to growth, and hence all these phototropic movement, gravitropic, hydrotropic and chemotropic movements are called growth relevant or growth related movements. Chemotropism is the growth or movement of a plant in response to a stimuli. The growth of a pollen tube down the style during fertilization in response to the presence of sugars in the style is one example, and conversion of flower into fruit is another example. So chemotropism, where the plant moves towards some chemicals. Okay. You've already seen this picture of the pollen grain moving towards the ovule, and here you see the flowers of mango turning into the fruit. Some examples of phototropic movements where we see the plant so clearly moving, trying to get outside the window, to get sunlight. This is an example of a plant in a dark room with only a light on there. Light, the plant moving towards that light, and the sunflower always with its head up towards the light. So these are some examples to show you that a plant moves towards light. Some examples of hydrotropic, that is movement towards water, and gravitropic, movement towards gravity. You see this mangrove trees here, the roots come up, they are not into the soil or not inside the ground. They have roots forming above the ground, but still those roots, they're not bending upwards, going upwards, they are going in the direction of water. And an example of a banyan tree which has aerial roots, but again those roots don't go upwards like the branches and leaves, but move downwards in the search of water as well as the force of gravity. Some movements of plants do not lead to growth. Such movements are called growth irrelevant movements, meaning the plant does not move only because it's growing. It can also move in response to changes in the surroundings. And there are plant hormones which bring around the movements in these plants. Now, for example, you can see the plant here called Venus flytrap. Okay, the minute an insect comes over there and touches those thorny little parts around, you will find the Venus flytrap closing to trap its prey. Okay, now this is not dependent on growth. This is just when they sense the insect coming, which is the food. It's an insectivorous plant. It will close. This is called response to changes in the surroundings or response to a stimuli and has nothing to do with growth. Hence, this kind of a movement is called a growth irrelevant movement. Then we have the balsam. If you see here, you will find the pod just breaking by itself and releasing seeds. Okay. Again, this has nothing to do with growth and hence it is called a growth irrelevant movement. Plant cells also change shape by increasing or decreasing the water content, and thereby there is movement. You will suddenly find that due to some touch or due to something, some stimulus from the environment, immediately the water content will change in that part and that brings about a movement. For example, the very well known mimosa or touch me not. The minute you touch it, you will find slowly all the leaves will start closing. And the lotus, okay, blossoming into a beautiful flower, such movement taking place. Now these movements have nothing to do with growth. They are the movements taking place either by change in hormones or change in the water content, and therefore these are also examples of growth irrelevant movements. And here you will see this plant growing, showing movement, growth relevant movements, okay, from a plant bearing flowers and finally the fruit.